So, way off that direction is the digital miner. It is running again. And I have decided... well, okay. First things first. I started running this, and this got completely clogged up. What I've discovered was this got jammed. And I've heard of a lot of you have commented on my forums, you've commented on Twitter, or in the comments in the video itself, that this thing does have a tendency to jam, and you are 100% right. So, unfortunately, I think what we're going to have to do is get this logistical sorter system and strip it out, and I think we're going to have to AEify it. I'm not sure, though. It's between either Applied Energistics 2 or using item conduits from Ender.io. I might try item conduits from Ender.io first, because I think those could actually work really well. But right now, I had to put a buffer chest up here to hold all of this, because this kept getting, jammed up. And you see, it's getting clogged up now again. So basically, it's going through bouts of not talking to these machines. I had to pick this machine up completely, put it back down, and reset all of this in order to get it all of a sudden to start talking to this again. So this is very... You see, now all of a sudden, a whole bunch of copper's going out. It's very confused. I don't know what's going on. And it's just frustrating. So what I'm going to do is probably, after this episode is done, turn off the digital miner if it's not done. I'm going to peel all this out, and I'm going to try to re-automate it using some system. I don't know how yet. Let's go upstairs real quick. I haven't expanded that very much because I've been working on this, okay? I'm going to explain this all in part in time, so just bear with me. This comes up from the main AE system. That's the crafting processor thing. Goes over here. And then there is an interface with some crafting patterns on it. Basically, if you get one silicone, one redstone, and one gold ingot, it makes a logic processor. If you get one silicon, one diamond, and one redstone, you get an engineering processor. One silicon, one redstone, and one pure circuit quartz, you get a calculation processor. And I'll show you how I did those. We come down here. Basically, I flipped it over to processing pattern. You do, and I literally just did one of those, and say one of those. And then I put the right kind of circuit in here. That's it. All I did. So, I have 3 specialty patterns. And then I have 5 machines. Each one is set up with its own inscriber plate. Calculation, logic, engineering. This one does the silicon underbelly. And then this is the final assembly inscriber. And I have all of this linked up using Steve's Factory Manager. So what happens is I have 5 different processes, one for each machine, going from left to right. Calculation, logic, engineering, silicon, and then the final setup. Each one, we can go in this one. You just left click there. And this is just, it's one process. It literally gets 1 quartz. It puts it in the inscriber, and then it pulls out whatever is there and puts it back in the chest. That's what this does. So all this does is, if we get 1 gold ingot, 1 redstone, and 1 silicon, well, the gold will get sent... Can't remember. Yeah, gold will get sent here. Okay? The silicon will get sent here. They get made into their respective parts, and then they go back to the chest. As soon as they're back at the chest, the gold circuit, the silicon circuit, and the redstone go in here for assembly. And I can probably even show you. Let's do crafting. I'm actually going to request, and you see, it's sending out 1 redstone, 1 gold ingot, 1 silicon to make 1 logic processor. Start. There's the gold ingot already. There's the silicon already. And the redstone has been put in there waiting. Those parts are finished. 1, 2, 3 is in there. You can see the gold on the top. Now they're a chip. As soon as the chip gets made, it gets put in here and then pulled out by this import bus using a filter. I actually don't need both of these. I only need one capacity card, but still. Logic processor, the only thing this import bus will take out of this chest is these 3 processors. That way it doesn't accidentally pull the parts out. It's actually fairly simple. I highly recommend, if you're going to do this, that you use these command groups is what it is. You make a command group right here, and you see it's got content. You can rename it like that, and then you can either drop commands in here, or what I recommend doing, left click to open. Now I'm in the command group. You can see across the bottom. Group. There's a button right here, close group. If I wanted to, I could rename this to, let's say, Frank. Okay. Now, Frank. We're in Frank. There you go. So, I can make commands, put them together. I could even make a sub-command group if I wanted to really nest things. It's real nice. And I can just drop it there and delete it. It's actually very simple. Each one, this one grabs pure Certus quartz, puts it in the leftmost machine, machine number 1, and then grabs the resulting chip wafer out and puts it in the chest. This does the same thing for gold. This does the same thing for diamond, and this does the same thing for silicon. And then once it gets at least one of these kind of processors right here, calculation, logic, or engineering, then it gets the silicon and the redstone that's been waiting, and it snaps it all together and puts it back in the chest. That's it. This is probably the hardest part, what I had to do. Let's go in here real quick. This is a little bit more complex, basically. This input grabs the silicon and the redstone. I don't even think I need to do this, but I did blow control. It grabs both of those things and then puts the silicon in and the redstone in. That's what that is. I don't think I needed to use blow control, but since I wanted to have them go to separate locations, the silicon gets put in through the bottom. If you look, target, down. It's put in through the bottom side, and then the redstone goes in through the side. Anytime I extract something, I extract it from the side, north, south, east, west, whatever. If I'm putting in from the north and extracting from the south, basically. That's what I did on all these machines. This step over here, target, chest, and it grabs one of these. Any one that's available. If it finds one, it grabs it, and it puts it in the top output. You see it goes to this machine, which is the last inscriber, the assembly inscriber. And it puts it in through the top. So that's the thing you have to remember with these inscribers, okay? This is inserting through the top. That's why I don't use it, because these things already stay here, always stay here. The only one that gets inserted through the top is this one over here, because there's nothing here. The gold, or the circuit, comes in through the top, redstone through one of the sides, and silicon through the bottom. That's how this is put together, and then I extract through the side. I basically do north, insert, south, extract. That's what I do. It's not real hard. I'm probably going to do a separate a separate tutorial video maybe on how to do this. I think it's pretty good. It works real well, and I found it easier and more compact than using a whole bunch of interfaces and stuff like that from Applied Energistics. So you'll notice this cable under here, the only thing this cable does is power. That's why it's separated right here by that quartz fiber. That means the only thing going through that cable is power. So this is just a power cable for all of these inscribers. The next thing I want to do is try and figure out a way to automate this charger so that the system can charge up quartz if it needs to. I think that could be good. But I'm going to worry about that later. So I have processors that can be auto-crafted now. If I want to, I can auto-craft a calculation processor or a logic processor or an engineering processor, which means if I go into stuff like this, these can be auto-crafted now. I can make interfaces whenever I want to, storage buses whenever I want to, which is when this started. Okay, I'm going to turn off Waylo. I'm basically been wanting to do this for a long time because A, I kind of like being able to look at my inventory at a glance in terms of resources and metals and things like that. B, these are cheaper than display screens, I think. I really do think so. I might be wrong on that, but it seems like they're cheaper than the storage monitors. So, I really like this. I'm probably going to start moving other stuff over here. Eventually, I have an idea for a tree farm. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get a Steve's cart. Oh, gosh, it's nighttime. I want to get a Steve's cart, and I want to use Ender rails from Ender.io and actually have the cart teleport around the various islands and properties around the outer edge and actually plant and harvest trees. I think that could be really, really cool. I might make little standalone island trees that it pops on and off of it real quick. That could be really neat. So, yeah, little filler places. So there's not actually track connecting the islands. The actual minecart would teleport from island to island. I'm going to do that for a tree farm. And then once we do that, we can have all the tree stuff come here. Saplings, logs. We could get some of it auto-processed into planks or just do that manually, whatever. And get all of this hooked up via storage bus. So all of these have been hooked up to storage bus. They've been given a priority of 100, which means everything new automatically goes in here. So then all I needed to do was pull all of this stuff out of the system, keep pulling it out. In a loop, I'd do 2 or 3 stacks of iron, put it back into the system, pull it out, put it back in. If you do that enough times, you'll get everything from the lower priority storage and put it back into the higher priority storage. So that's basically what I've been doing. Eventually, I want to have all of the actual mineable and natural resources, like, and mob drops. I want to have all mob drops over here, mineable resources in here, and then everything else is going to be that's in the storage system. And you notice, I've got a whole bunch of green lights down here, except for these. I've got all green lights in these general storage things. Suddenly, there's a whole bunch of free space in these, which is great. So, I want to reserve these for the weird, like, applied energistics machine parts, cabling, power cables, old machines I'm not using, chests, weapons, armor. I want to have all my spare stuff in here that doesn't really fit into a barrel. So I think that's going to be great. And it's full again. I'm just going to grab all that out. So it is not making it easy for me. I've been grabbing some overflow ore and just going over here and doing that. See, I've got dirty copper right here, and it's not doing anything with it. So some part of this has stopped talking to these on and off, and it's not even consistent. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to figure it out, but there's got to be a better way. I don't think I'm going to have to resort to AE2. Maybe I can do it another way. I'm not sure. So I was very happy about this and about this system. This has been a really good setup. It's working really well for me for auto crafting of processors. It is not instantaneous, but I can speed these things up. And I might put some acceleration upgrades in there. I know I can do that. But I don't know. We're up on Yellorium. I need to actually go check the reactor and see what the Yellorite, the cyanite stockpile looks like. Let's see. B-space barrels. I love these things. Yeah, only 17, so we're really not wasting that much power in the grand scheme of things. That is interesting. I don't think it's running. Yeah, energy buffer is ticking down, though. I'm going to come back and do a little bit of decoration on this stall, Zaw's stall. I'm going to put some stuff hanging down from the ceiling. Maybe even put a chair in here somewhere. But, yeah, I'm not done with this stall. Not done by a long shot. I've seen some really good suggestions on stuff right here. Weapon shop, all sorts of things. Yeah. Let's see. Quick check-in on some other things. Let's go. Up a floor. Wow, those merged already. Okay. I had a pair of Aura nodes here, but it looks like it's finally merged into this one. This one is getting a little bit bigger, but I'm having trouble finding Aura nodes that have, let me think, Terra and Air. It's getting to where there's not a lot of Terra and Air Aura nodes in the neighborhood, so I'm going to have to figure that one out. What do I need this for? What are you for? You're for nothing? Okay. Yeah, I have not gotten to moving all this stuff up. I'm going to have to do that probably next week. So, yes, I have been very busy trying to get this stuff sorted out. Come on. I don't know why, but I have the hardest time finding these elevators. Okay, I think I might have to actually just redo this. I'm not sure. Whoa. I fell down a hole. Let me out. I had to put this here, this birchwood plank cover, because this pipe was connecting and putting stuff directly into the item hopper, and that was bad. So, yeah. What I might do... Don't need this right now. Kinda need you. I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to put that stuff up there. We'll see if we... Yeah, see, there's a whole bunch of ingots and stuff in here that I can just... save myself some time. So basically, what I think I want to do, unfortunately, I think what I'm going to have to do, actually, let's put it right here, and conduit let's see, item conduit mod.ender.io. Am I missing something here? Yep, there's just the one kind of item conduits now, but there's upgradable item filters. So I think what I'm actually going to need... Let's go over here and do item conduits. I have a couple of basic item filters that I can actually do. Just going to get a couple more of these. And then... Do I actually have a Z-Logic controller sitting around somewhere? I do. Okay. I think I'm going to need advanced filters. We're going to have to see. I don't know. We'll see how far this goes. So step one. Insert. Extract. Let's kill that. And this is going to have to be all the kind of stuff that doesn't really belong. Whoops. There we go. Actually, no, that's not going to be enough. I can tell you already. I'm going to need an advanced. Means and that's still not going to be enough. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I might end up having to actually use AE after all. I cannot put an extra filter in the slot. I am trying. I have to use an advanced filter to get more slots. Thought maybe you could use two basics, but you can't do that. So if I do active without a signal, and mod item filter, that's a thought. Advanced at mod ender IO. Let's see. Conduit speed upgrade, that is what I wanted. Conduit. Really? I'm out of redstone? Oh, probably out of sticks. Okay. Oh, I'm out of electrical steel resources. Okay. Let's do that. Gonna have to see. And I'm actually going to do a no-no. I'm going to break this. Which basically means... Oh, no. Okay, well, all of that stuff is... back there. Okay, let's get this. Now, what we're going to want to do is oh, actually, no. This is not what I want to do. What I want to do any which way, we're going to have some interaction. Let's get some covers here. Don't need the transportation table right now. I'm going to put one, I think, there. And I'm going to put one there. Can I put a... Okay. We now have parallel lines running up. And what I want to actually do is move this, and it's going to cause a lot of grief. Let's get this. And put it right there. Don't need that anymore. So now what I actually want to do is okay. So in theory, what I want to slowly start doing is get everything. This is going to be hard. Okay, I'm going to get all of this stuff. Trying to think of an optimal way. So now I've got this coming in. This is input, basically. And the problem I have is this thing's only 3 rows. If you look at these chests, it's double chest wide, right? These are only sized of a single chest. And of course, then you have diamond chests, which are so much bigger. I basically am trying to make an overflow system here, and I'm not sure how well it's going to work. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Going to get all this. Let's extract. Let's put both the upgrades there. I'm going to do insert. And this is going to be active without a redstone. And then we have I need to hurry up and get the configurator. There we go, black. That's what that's supposed to be. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work any better, but we've got a bigger chest. So basically, when this chest gets completely full, the actual... Let me get back over here. So when that chest got full, when the actual ender chest got full, this thing gets confused. That's the theory I've been working on, which is why it's bad to actually kind of use these for logistical sorter systems. I really should, you know what? I actually should swap to a dimensional storage chest because it's double the capacity. But even then, you need to actually make sure you've got a kind of a buffered overflow. So now everything comes into there first. Whoops. It comes into the ender chest first and gets pulled out, immediately put in here. And there's a lot more space to deal with stuff in here. So now I can put that back, put that back. I'm going to get that and put it there, put that there, put that there, and these go up there. I'm going to temporarily watch and see how well that works. I'm not sure. Jury's still out. I don't have enough filter space to use Ender I/O piping for the system because there's so many different things. I would need more space, and I'd have to start sorting and filtering it much earlier on. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave that where it is right now. And I was going to do slums today, but I ended up getting distracted by this to try and kind of stopgap. A big chunk of the prep time that I was going to do for working on the slums was actually put towards, in between episodes, was put towards getting this auto crafting made specifically so that I could actually start using storage buses on these, because these started to all light up and give me red lights. So yeah, it's kind of a cascade effect. I started running the digital miner again, and all of a sudden, all this started filling up. And I know one thing about it was the fact that I had to slap an upgrade on my coal barrel. That was one thing. I was at 64 of 64. It was absolutely full. And I slapped an upgrade on that, pulled as much coal as I could into this, and all of a sudden I started freeing up a lot of space, but it's still a kind of a preemptive measure. So I was going to do slums in between episodes and black market in this episode. I do apologize. I promise we will do black market work on Friday. I really need to get started on it. I'm raring to go. So we're going to have to actually see what we can do. I'm hoping this is actually going to at least temporarily work until I can come with a better sorting system. I know I would, if I did storage buses, I'd have a much wider range of filters to work with on this thing. I could do a storage bus into the top of the machine and just have it, like on this one, I could have it store all of the ores. And then here, I could have it store all of the dust, clumps, then dirty dust, then clean dust, and other stuff. Like, this is where Yellorium goes straight to. So I might actually do that, and I think that would be smaller and tidier. Don't know. We'll see. I think that would be quicker. I could do some upgrades and get the whole thing going. But for now, I think this is going to actually do. Thank you very much for swinging by. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you folks later. Have a good week. Bye-bye.